Go on, I can't do this. Jennifer Lee's voice cuts through the conference room like a knife through silk. 14 faces turn toward her. Clients, colleagues. Her boss Marcus leaning forward with concern masked as professionalism. The PowerPoint slide she spent 11 hours perfecting glows behind her. Graphs and projections she could recite in her sleep. Her hands grip the presentation clicker so hard her knuckles ache. "I'm sorry," she hears herself say, already apologizing, always apologizing. "I need a moment." But she doesn't take a moment. She walks out. Thursday, 2:47 p.m., middle of the biggest pitch of the quarter. And Jennifer Lee, who has never missed a deadline, never called in sick, never been anything less than exceptional, simply leaves. Marcus catches her at the elevator. "Jennifer, what's—" I froze. The admission tastes like failure. I looked at those slides and couldn't remember why any of it mattered. He doesn't know what to say. Neither does she. The elevator doors close between them. 40 minutes later, she's sitting on a wooden bench at Sukshan Lake Park, staring at water that reflects nothing but gray sky. Her blazer is still perfectly pressed. Her hair is still neat. But inside, she's collapsing in slow motion, and the worst part is that she's too exhausted even to feel it properly. I should cry, she thinks. Normal people would cry right now. Nothing comes. Min-jae Park appears from the opposite path 20 minutes later. His black overcoat immaculate, his face carefully blank. He left a celebration he didn't want. A promotion that means more hours, more responsibility, more of the hollow performance he's perfected since his brother died 3 years ago. Everyone toasted. Everyone congratulated. No one noticed he didn't drink. He sees the woman on the bench first, shoulders curved inward, gaze lost somewhere in the middle distance. Something about her posture mirrors exactly what he feels. Every cell in his body says, sit somewhere else, maintain distance, stay safe. He sits 2 meters away. Jennifer registers his presence peripherally but doesn't acknowledge it. 2 strangers on a bench, both running from different versions of the same thing. Then, the sky opens. Not romantic drizzle. Real rain, the kind that soaks through expensive fabric in seconds, cold and sharp and unforgiving. Around them, people shriek and scatter, holding bags over their heads, running for covered bus stops. Jennifer and Min-jae don't move. She tilts her face up, lets the rain hit her skin. He closes his eyes, feels the cold seep through his hair, his collar, his carefully maintained composure. "I think I needed this today," Jennifer says quietly, barely audible over the drumming water. Min-jae opens his eyes, looks at her, really looks, the first time he's truly seen another person in months. Water runs down her face, her braids dark and gleaming, and she's almost smiling. "Me too," he replies, and his voice cracks just slightly on the second word. They sit in silence as the rain intensifies. No umbrellas, no shelter. Just 2 people finally allowing themselves to stop performing, stop functioning, stop pretending that everything is fine. Jennifer laughs, a real laugh, unexpected even to herself. "We must look insane." "Probably." Min-jae's mouth quirks, but everyone else is running. And we're just sitting here getting drenched like it's normal. Maybe it should be. She turns to look at him properly then. Korean, early 30s. Handsome in that careful way that suggests he's used to being looked at but not seen. His eyes are dark and tired and somehow kind. "I'm Jennifer." Min-jae. The rain falls harder. Neither of them moves to leave. If you've ever felt too tired to keep pretending you're okay, if you've ever needed permission just to stop and feel, subscribe to hear more stories like this one. Because sometimes the most honest moments happen when we finally allow ourselves to break. Manamam. Jennifer returns to the office the next day with an apology email already drafted on her phone. She's rehearsed 12 different versions of, "I'm so sorry for my unprofessional behavior," when Sarah intercepts her at the coffee station. Marcus rescheduled the pitch for Monday, Sarah says, her blue eyes wide with concern. He told the clients you had a sudden migraine. Are you okay? I'm fine. Jennifer lies automatically. Just a bad day. Everyone has bad days, Jen. You don't have to be perfect all the time. But that's exactly what Jennifer has to be. The only black woman in a department of 17. Every mistake magnified. Every success attributed to luck or diversity quotas whispered about in bathrooms she's not supposed to hear. Perfection isn't a choice. It's survival. I know, she says, because it's easier than explaining. Sarah squeezes her shoulder and leaves to flirt with someone from accounting. Jennifer stands alone with her coffee, wondering why comfort from friends feels like speaking different languages. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. It's raining again today. Are you at the bench? MJ. She stares at the message. They didn't exchange numbers yesterday. She definitely didn't give him hers. A second text arrives. Hyunwoo saw us yesterday and took your number from the company directory. I'm sorry if this is invasive. You can ignore it. Jennifer looks out the window. It is raining. Light, steady, the kind that whispers rather than shouts. She types, I have to work late, fixing yesterday's mess. His response comes immediately. The bench will be here tomorrow. Something in her chest loosens. Just slightly. Just enough. They meet on Saturday instead. Jennifer arrives first, wearing jeans and a cream sweater instead of corporate armor. The park is quieter on weekends, families with children, elderly couples walking slowly, a different rhythm entirely. Min-jae appears 10 minutes later carrying 2 paper cups. I didn't know if you drink coffee, he says, offering one. So I got tea instead. Less presumptuous. That's very Korean of you. Jennifer accepts the cup, warmth spreading through her fingers. Is it? He sits, leaving the same respectful distance as before. My coworker told me Koreans are indirect. All subtext and reading between lines. And Americans are all direct and loud? His tone is gentle, teasing. Touché. She sips the tea. Chrysanthemum, delicate and slightly sweet. This is perfect, actually. They fall into comfortable silence. Around them, life continues. Children chasing pigeons, a street musician setting up nearby, the city humming its constant song. But on their bench, time feels slower. Can I ask you something? Min-jae finally says. Yesterday, when you said you needed the rain, what did you mean? Jennifer considers lying. Considers the polite deflection she's perfected over years of being the only one. The different one. The one who can't afford to show weakness. Instead, she tells the truth. I've been tired for a long time. Not the kind that sleep fixes, the kind that lives in your bones. And I keep going because that's what you do. You function. You perform. You smile at the right moments. But yesterday something in me just stopped, and the rain felt like permission to stop pretending. Min-jae is quiet for a long moment. When he speaks, his voice is rough. I understand that more than you know. Yeah? I lost my younger brother 3 years ago. Car accident, sudden, senseless. And everyone expected me to grieve properly, cry at the funeral, take time off, talk about my feelings. But I couldn't. So I just kept going, worked harder, smiled more, became the son who survived, who had to be enough for 2. Jennifer turns to him. That's a lot to carry. So is being perfect all the time because people are watching for you to fail. Her breath catches. He gets it. This stranger on a bench gets it in a way her oldest friends don't. Who taught you to apologize for existing? Min-jae asks quietly. The question breaks something open in her chest. What? You apologized yesterday. To me, to the rain, to the air. For needing a moment. For being human. His dark eyes hold hers. Who taught you that taking up space was something to be sorry for? Jennifer's throat tightens. No one has ever asked her that before. No one has ever noticed. Everyone, she whispers. And no one. It's just Survival. I think that's the saddest thing I've heard in a long time. The musician nearby starts playing. Something melancholy and beautiful. All minor chords and yearning. The rain picks up slightly, misting rather than pouring. Min-jae reaches for his umbrella, then pauses. Do you want cover, or... Let's stay like this, Jennifer says. Just a little longer. They sit as the mist dampens their hair, their shoulders, the space between them somehow both vast and infinitesimal. Two people learning that silence can be connection, that being seen doesn't require words. When they finally part, Min-jae hesitates. Can I see you again? I think I'd like that. Next Saturday? Same bench? Jennifer smiles. A real smile, the kind that reaches her eyes. It's a date, or not a date. Whatever this is. Whatever this is, he agrees, and walks away before she can see how much that simple phrase costs him. Monday brings the rescheduled pitch. Jennifer delivers flawlessly, every statistic memorized, every transition smooth, her smile professional and warm and entirely fake. The clients sign. Marcus beams. Sarah hugs her in the hallway. You're back, Sarah says. I knew Thursday was just a blip. Jennifer nods, accepts congratulations, and feels absolutely nothing. At lunch, she escapes to the bathroom and texts Min-jae. I did the thing I couldn't do last week. Everyone's proud. I feel empty. Does that make sense? His response. Perfect sense. Achievement without meaning is just motion. Are you okay? I don't know. Are you? No, but I'm learning that's allowed. She stares at her phone, at this man who's somehow become her mirror in the space of 2 brief meetings. Her fingers hover over the keyboard. Can we meet before Saturday? I know that's needy. Forget I asked. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. I'll bring the tea. Tuesday evening, Jennifer arrives to find Min-jae already on the bench despite the clear sky. He looks different in daylight without rain. More guarded, the corporate mask sliding back into place before he sees her, and it cracks again. No rain today, she observes, sitting. I came anyway. He hands her the now familiar paper cup. Started to feel wrong, only meeting when the weather gives permission. They sip in comfortable quiet. A cyclist passes. A couple argues softly in Korean nearby. Normal life, continuing around them. I have a confession, Min-jae says eventually. When you gave me your number Saturday, I didn't save it immediately. I stared at the contact screen for 5 minutes trying to decide what to name you. Jennifer raises an eyebrow. And what did you choose? Bench. He looks embarrassed. Just bench. Because I didn't know how to categorize you. Friend seemed presumptuous. Acquaintance felt dismissive. Your name alone felt too simple for what this is. What is this? The question escapes before Jennifer can stop it. Min-jae meets her eyes. I think it's 2 people learning how to be honest. And that's terrifying because I've been lying to myself for 3 years. About your brother? About everything. His voice drops. About being okay. About the promotion meaning something. About the fact that I haven't felt real emotion since Jae-sung died. And I convinced myself that was strength instead of cowardice. Grief isn't cowardice. Avoiding it is. Jennifer reaches out, an impulse, unplanned, and takes his hand. His fingers are warm, slightly calloused, and they close around hers like he's been waiting for permission to hold on to something real. I saved you as rain, she admits, because you're the first person who understood that sometimes you need the storm. They sit holding hands on a bench in Seokcheon Lake Park as the sun sets, and it feels more intimate than anything Jennifer has experienced in years. No kiss, no grand declaration, just 2 palms pressed together and the truth hanging between them. When they part, neither wants to let go first. The bench meetings become routine. Tuesday and Saturday, rain or shine, 6 p.m. Jennifer stops pretending it's accidental. Min-jae stops apologizing for texting first. Week 3, he suggests coffee at a traditional Korean cafe in Bukchon. If you want, he adds quickly. No pressure. The bench is good too. I'd like that, Jennifer says, ignoring the flutter of nerves in her stomach. The cafe is small, tucked between hanok houses, smelling of roasted beans and sweet rice cakes. The owner, an elderly woman with sharp eyes and a kind smile, greets Minjae in rapid Korean, then spots Jennifer and switches smoothly to accented English. Your girlfriend is very beautiful, she tells Minjae, who flushes. We're not, he starts. Just friends, Jennifer finishes, but the words taste wrong. The owner makes a knowing sound and bustles away. They sit at a low table, knees almost touching, and suddenly the easy comfort of the bench feels complicated by walls and witnesses. Sorry about that, Minjae says. She assumes anyone I bring here is significant. Do you bring people here often? No, you're the first in 3 years. Oh, they order coffee, Americano for him, sweet latte for her, and fall into the rhythm they've developed. He asks about her childhood in Atlanta. She asks about his brother's favorite things. They trade stories like currency, building a shared vocabulary of understanding. Jae-sung would have liked you, Minjae says suddenly. He always said I was too serious, that I needed someone who'd make me sit in the rain like an idiot. Jennifer laughs. I'm honored to be the idiot enabler. You're more than that. His voice goes quiet. You're the first person who doesn't need me to be okay, who doesn't flinch when I'm not. Same, Jennifer whispers. Everyone else wants me to be the strong black woman who has it together. You just let me be tired. Their eyes hold. The cafe fades. There's only this moment, this table, this truth. Minjae leans forward slightly. Jennifer's breath catches. The air between them thrums with possibility. His phone rings, sharp, jarring, shattering the moment like glass. He glances at the screen and his entire body goes rigid. Yama, he says, mother, and answers in Korean, his voice transforming into something formal and distant. Jennifer watches the mask slide back into place. The Minjae from the bench disappears, replaced by the dutiful son, the corporate success, the role he plays for the world. He speaks in rapid, deferential tones, his posture straightening, his free hand clenching on the table. When he hangs up, he won't meet her eyes. I have to go. Family dinner. I forgot. It's okay. I'll text you. But he sounds distant now, already halfway gone. Jennifer walks home alone, the taste of almonds from her latte lingering, and realizes with sudden clarity, she only knows the Minjae who exists in rain and on benches. She doesn't know the Minjae who lives in the real world, with family expectations and cultural weight, and a life that might not have room for a black American woman who doesn't fit the script. The thought keeps her awake all night. Saturday comes. Minjae doesn't show. Jennifer waits at the bench for 45 minutes, watching her phone for a message that never arrives. Around her, life continues. Joggers, couples, a child feeding ducks, and she feels simultaneously hypervisible and completely unseen. She texts, "Everything okay?" No response. Sunday, still nothing. Monday, Sarah corners her at lunch. "Okay, spill. Who's the mystery guy making you check your phone every 30 seconds? There's no guy. Liar. You've been glowing for 3 weeks and now you look like someone kicked your puppy. What happened? Jennifer considers deflecting. But she's so tired of performing, even with friends. I met someone, a Korean guy. We've been meeting at the park and it was good, really good. And then his mom called and he disappeared. Sarah winces. Oh, honey, Korean families are intense about who their sons date. My roommate's ex was Korean, and his mom literally staged interventions. It's a whole thing. We're not even dating, we just talk. Do you want to be dating? The question lands like a stone in still water. Jennifer has been avoiding it, afraid of the answer. Yeah, I think I do. Then tell him. Life's too short for bench meetings and mixed signals. Tuesday morning, Jennifer is grabbing coffee before work when someone approaches. A Korean man in his early 30s, friendly face, cautious eyes. "Jennifer Lee?" he asks in perfect English. "Yes?" "I'm Hyunwoo, Min Jae's friend." He gestures to an empty table. "Can we talk? Just 5 minutes." Every instinct screams warning, but curiosity wins. They sit. "Min Jae didn't send me," Hyunwoo says immediately. "He'd kill me if he knew I was here. But I've known him since university, and I've never seen him like he's been the last month. He's different. Better. And I think that's because of you." "Then why hasn't he contacted me in 5 days?" Hyunwoo sighs. "His mother found out he's been meeting someone. She didn't know it was you specifically, but she knows it's someone non-Korean. She's arranging omiai, formal meetings with Korean women from appropriate families. And Min Jae is trying to figure out how to tell her no without destroying his relationship with his only surviving parent." Jennifer's chest tightens. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because you should know what you're walking into. Mrs. Park isn't cruel, but she's traditional. She lost one son. Her entire focus is on Min Jae now, seeing him settled, married to someone who understands the culture, continuing the family line. You're amazing, I can tell. But to her, you're a complication he doesn't need." The coffee tastes bitter now. "So what? I should just walk away? Make it easier for everyone?" "I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't be surprised if this gets harder before it gets easier. If it gets easier at all." He stands, bows slightly, that Korean gesture of respect Jennifer has started recognizing, and leaves. She sits alone, staring at her phone, at the name saved as Rain, and makes a decision. Marcus calls Jennifer into his office that afternoon. "Close the door," he says, which is never good. "Am I in trouble?" Opposite. Corporate wants to expand the Tokyo office. They're offering you the position. Senior consultant, significant raise, housing stipend. It's a major opportunity. Jennifer's heart stops. "Tokyo? I know it's sudden. You'd leave in 6 weeks. They need an answer by Friday. 72 hours to decide if she'll uproot her entire life for a career move that 3 months ago would have been her dream. Now it feels like running." She calls Sarah from the parking garage. "Tokyo offer. What do I do?" "Holy shit, Jen. That's incredible. Are you going to take it?" "I don't know. There's Min Jae." Silence. Then, carefully, "Honey, you've known him a month. This is your career." "I know. Do you, though? Because you've spent your whole life being practical and perfect, and the one time you meet someone who makes you feel real, you're considering throwing away a massive opportunity. That's not practical. That's scared." Sarah's right. Jennifer knows she's right. But knowing and feeling are different countries. That night she goes to the bench even though it's their off day. Sits in the dark, watching the lake, trying to figure out when her life became this complicated. "I hoped you'd be here." She turns. Min Jae stands 10 feet away, hands in his pockets, looking wrecked. "You disappeared," Jennifer says, proud her voice stays steady. "I know. I'm sorry." He sits, closer than usual. "My mother has been calling every day with information about women she thinks I should meet. And I've been trying to find the right words to tell her that I can't do that because I'm falling for someone completely unexpected." Jennifer's breath catches. Falling? Hard and fast and terrifying. He finally looks at her. "I haven't felt anything in 3 years, Jennifer. And then you were just there, soaked and honest and real. And suddenly I remembered what it was like to be alive. That's not something I can just walk away from, even if it complicates everything. Especially then. Safe and numb is easy. You are worth the complication." She should tell him about Tokyo. Should lay it all out, let him know that in 6 weeks she might be gone anyway. But the words stick. Instead she says, "Your friend Hyunwoo found me." Min Jae closes his eyes. "What did he tell you?" "That your mom wants you to marry Korean." that I'm a complication, that this is going to be hard. All true. Is it worth it to you? Really? He opens his eyes, and they're blazing with something fierce and fragile. You are worth every difficult conversation, every disappointed look, every cultural expectation I have to explain or challenge. If you're willing to try, so am I. Jennifer takes his hand. I need to tell you something. Okay. I got offered a job in Tokyo. I have until Friday to decide. The silence that follows is deafening. Min-jae doesn't let go of her hand. That's the first surprise. The second is that he smiles, sad and real and utterly without agenda. Tokyo, he repeats. That's incredible, Jennifer. Is it what you want? I don't know anymore. A month ago, absolutely. Now. She trails off. Now you're confused because of me. Because of us. This thing we're building. I don't know what it is, but I know I don't want to lose it. He pulls her closer, their knees touching, his thumb tracing circles on her palm. Can I be completely honest? Please. I don't know how to make this work long term. I don't know if my family will ever accept us, or if the cultural gap will get too wide, or if I'm even healthy enough to be what you deserve right now. I'm still grieving, still learning how to feel again, still figuring out who I am outside of expectations. Jennifer's throat tightens. That's a lot of honesty. You asked. He lifts their joined hands, presses his forehead to her knuckles. But I also know that walking away would be lying to myself again, and I promised Jae-sung I wouldn't do that anymore. Promised? The night before he died, we argued about my engagement. I was going to marry a woman my parents approved of, someone appropriate and Korean and safe. Jae-sung told me I was being a coward, marrying duty instead of love. We fought. He left angry. Min-jae's voice breaks. The accident happened 2 hours later, and I've spent 3 years wondering if he died, thinking I was too scared to really live. Tears stream down Jennifer's face. Min-jae, you make me feel like living isn't cowardice, like wanting something real is allowed. So yes, I think you should take Tokyo if it's your dream. And yes, I think we should try anyway, whatever that looks like. Because the alternative is both of us choosing safety over truth, and I can't do that anymore. Jennifer kisses him. It's impulsive and salt-streaked and desperate, and he kisses her back like she's oxygen after years of holding his breath. They break apart, gasping, foreheads pressed together, the bench solid beneath them, and the world spinning everywhere else. I haven't decided yet, she whispers, about Tokyo. I know. But I think I'm falling too, hard and fast and terrifying. Yeah? Yeah. They sit tangled together as night deepens. And for once, neither of them apologizes for needing this, for wanting this, for being profoundly imperfect people trying to figure out if broken pieces can still fit together. If you've ever met someone who changed everything at exactly the wrong time, if you've ever had to choose between safety and truth, drop a comment. Would you try anyway? Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Tap her. Jennifer tells Marcus she needs the full week to decide. He's not thrilled, but agrees. Sarah stages a pros and cons intervention complete with spreadsheets. Her mother calls from Atlanta asking why she sounds different lately. I met someone, Jennifer admits. Good different or complicated different? Both. Her mother laughs. Those are usually the same thing, baby. What's your gut say? That I'm tired of always choosing the practical thing. That maybe I want to be impractical for once. Then be impactful. Life's too short for only safe choices. Wednesday, Jennifer and Min-jae meet at the cafe where they almost kissed. This time, no phones interrupt. They talk about logistics. Could long distance work? Would he ever consider leaving Seoul? What does she actually want beyond career advancement? I think I've been climbing a ladder without knowing where it leads, Jennifer says. Chasing achievement because it's measurable. But being with you, sitting on a bench in the rain talking about nothing and everything, that's the first time in years I felt like I'm actually living instead of performing life. So stay, Min-jae says simply. It's not that easy. Why not? Because staying means turning down a massive opportunity for a relationship that's 4 weeks old with someone who's still figuring out how to grieve. Because that's impractical and risky and potentially really stupid. Or potentially brave. He leans back. But I'm biased. I don't want you to go. I know. And I can't promise this works. My mother is going to be a challenge. The cultural differences are real. Some days I'm going to be too broken to be good for you. Some days I'm going to be too exhausted to be good for you, Jennifer counters. Some days I'm going to need you to just let me be tired without trying to fix it. I can do that. Can you introduce me to your mother? Not now, but eventually? Min-jae hesitates. Yes, it won't be easy, but yes. That's all I need to know. Thursday night, Jennifer makes her decision. Calls Marcus from home, heart pounding. I'm going to decline Tokyo. Silence. Can I ask why? Because I've spent my whole life optimizing for achievement, and I want to optimize for living instead. Because the scared part of me wants to run, and I'm tired of listening to the scared part. Is this about the guy? It's about me. He's just the catalyst. Marcus sighs. Okay. I respect that. And for what it's worth, you've earned the right to choose based on something other than ambition. Friday morning, a package arrives at Jennifer's apartment. Inside, a brown leather notebook, not hers, and a letter written in both Korean and English. Jennifer. I'm not good with spoken words when emotions are big, so I'm writing this instead. 3 years ago, I made a promise to my brother that I broke every day since. I promised I'd stop living for other people's expectations and start living for real. But I didn't know how. I'd spent so long being the good son, the successful employee, the one who survived. I forgot there was supposed to be a person underneath all those roles. You reminded me. Not because you fixed me, no one can do that, but because you showed me what honesty looks like. You sat in the rain and admitted you were tired. You told me about the weight of being exceptional all the time. You held my hand and didn't demand I be okay. I don't know if you're staying or going. Both are valid. Both make sense. But I needed you to know, meeting you wasn't a complication. It was the first real thing that's happened to me since Jae-sung died. And whatever you choose, I'm grateful for these weeks of learning how to feel again. If you stay, I'll try. Really try. Not just at us, but at being whole. Therapy, honest conversations with my mother, all of it. If you go, I'll still try. Because you taught me that trying is what honors Jae-sung's memory, not playing it safe. The notebook is for you. For all the thoughts you don't say out loud. Write them down. They matter. Min-jae. P.S. Look at the last page. Jennifer flips to the end, where his handwriting continues. There's a Korean word, inyon, inyon. It means fate, but deeper. The idea that people are connected across lives by invisible threads. That nothing is coincidence. I don't know if I believe in that, but I know that you finding the bench the same day I did, both of us soaked and honest. That feels like inyon. Thank you for pulling on the thread instead of cutting it. Jennifer sits on her apartment floor and cries, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming relief of being seen completely and not found lacking. 3 weeks later, Jennifer stands outside an apartment building in Hanam-dong, clutching a small potted plant. A cutting from Min-jae's succulent, the one his brother gave him, now thriving in her care. Min-jae texted that morning. Mother wants to meet you. No pressure. Only if you're ready. She replied. Address? Now she's here, terrified and determined, about to meet the woman whose approval could make or break this fragile thing they're building. The door opens. Mrs. Park is smaller than Jennifer imagined. Barely 5 feet, silver streaking her neat black hair, eyes that miss nothing. She looks Jennifer up and down with an expression that reveals nothing. Mrs. Park, Jennifer says carefully. Thank you for inviting me. I brought... You are the woman from the bench. It's not a question. Mrs. Park's English is heavily accented but clear. Yes, ma'am. A long pause. Then, come in. The apartment is traditional Korean minimalism. Clean lines, muted colors, family photos on one wall. Jennifer spots a younger Min-jae grinning next to a boy who must be Jae-sung. Her heart aches. Mrs. Park gestures to the sofa. They sit. Tea appears. The same chrysanthemum tea Min-jae bought her that first day. He is different now, Mrs. Park says abruptly. Since meeting you. Don't know if good different or bad different yet. I understand. You are American, black, not Korean. Each statement lands like a stone. Yes, ma'am. You know this is difficult for Korean family. For mother who already lose one son, who wants to see other sons settled, traditional way. Jennifer meets her eyes. I do know that. And I'm not here to make your life harder, Mrs. Park. I'm here because your son is important to me, and I'm important to him. And I think you deserve to know who I am instead of just worrying about who I'm not. Something flickers in Mrs. Park's expression. You are direct. I am. I'm also stubborn and tired of pretending to be smaller than I am, and sometimes I'm too much. But I see your son, really see him, and I think he sees me. And that's rare enough to be worth the complication. Silence stretches. Jennifer's heart hammers. Then Mrs. Park does something unexpected. She smiles. Small, almost invisible, but real. Min-jae say you sit in rain together like crazy people. Jennifer laughs despite her nerves. We did. We do. He don't do crazy things since Jae-sung die. He do careful things. Safe things. Sad things. Mrs. Park's eyes glisten. Maybe crazy is good. Maybe I need to let go a little bit. I'm not asking you to let go, Mrs. Park. Just to let us, try. Trying is hard. Yes, ma'am, but we're both willing. Mrs. Park stands, walks to the window overlooking the city. Jae-sung would like you, I think. He always say Min-jae too serious, too worried what people think. Her voice drops. I worry too much what people think. Traditional Korean mother. But maybe tradition without love is just performance. Jennifer's throat tightens. Yes. I meet you today. I watch. I see. Maybe we try too. Slowly. It's not enthusiastic approval. It's not even warm acceptance. But it's a door cracked open instead of slammed shut. And that's everything. Min-jae appears from a back room, eyes cautious. Yama? Mrs. Park switches to Korean, speaking to her son with words Jennifer can't understand but can feel. Something about patience and trying, and not forgetting to water the plant. Then she turns to Jennifer, bows slightly. Thank you for plant. We'll take care of it. You come for dinner next week. We try. After Mrs. Park retreats to the kitchen, Min-jae pulls Jennifer into a tight hug. You okay? He whispers. I think your mom just told me we can try. She did. In her way, she really did. 6 months later, Jennifer and Min-jae sit on their bench at Seokcheon Lake Park. It's raining, not the accidental downpour that brought them together, but a gentle spring rain they chose to walk into deliberately. Your mother texted me this morning, Jennifer says, showing her phone. Mrs. Park has sent a photo of the succulent cutting, now doubled in size, with the caption, Growing well. Like you two. Min-jae grins. She's been telling her friends about you. That's huge. She still introduces me as Min-jae's friend Jennifer from America. Baby steps. They've been navigating those baby steps for months. Weekly dinners where Mrs. Park slowly warms, cultural misunderstandings that require patience and humor, moments when the gap feels too wide, and moments when it disappears entirely. Min-jae started therapy. Jennifer set boundaries at work, turning down projects that drain her just for achievement points. They're both learning what it means to live intentionally instead of performing life. Sarah's throwing me a birthday thing next week, Jennifer mentions. She's been asking when you'll meet my people properly instead of just coffee run-ins. Terrified but ready. Min-jae squeezes her hand. How are you feeling about the decision? Tokyo, I mean. Jennifer has thought about this a lot. Some days she wonders what that parallel life would look like. Senior consultant in Tokyo, corner office, professional triumph. But those days are fewer now. I think I made the right choice. Not because of you. Well, not only because of you, but because I was chasing achievement instead of meaning. And this, us, the bench, learning how to actually live, this has more meaning than any job title. No regrets? Some days. But they're smaller than the gratitude. They fall into comfortable silence, rain dampening their hair. A couple runs past shrieking, holding a newspaper over their heads. Jennifer and Min-jae don't move. Remember when getting wet felt like rebellion? Jennifer muses. Now it just feels like home. She looks at him. This man who's taught her that being seen is scarier and better than being perfect. Who's learning alongside her what it means to choose truth over performance. They're both still broken in places, still figuring out how to be whole humans instead of functions. But they're doing it together, and that makes the difference. I love you, Jennifer says. Simple, direct, true. Min-jae's eyes widen. They haven't said it yet, both too cautious, too aware of their fragility. But something in this moment, rain-soaked and ordinary and theirs, makes it impossible not to. I love you too, he replies, voice rough. Desperately and imperfectly and more than I thought I could feel again. They kiss in the rain, and it's nothing like movies. Awkward angles, cold water running down their faces, both of them laughing mid-kiss. It's real and messy and absolutely perfect. Hyun-woo throws Min-jae an engagement party that's really an excuse to drink soju and embarrass him with college stories. Jennifer meets Min-jae's entire friend circle, some warm, some politely distant, all clearly protective. He's been different since you, Hyun-woo tells her during a quieter moment. More present, less like he's haunting his own life. He did that for himself, Jennifer says. I just showed up at the right time. Timing is everything though, isn't it? Sarah pulls Jennifer aside later, slightly tipsy. Okay, I was wrong. When you turned down Tokyo for a guy you'd known a month, I thought you were insane. But seeing you two together, you're alive in a way you weren't before. So yeah, I was wrong. I'm framing this confession. Don't push it. The party winds down. Jennifer and Min-jae walk home through Seoul streets, hand in hand, navigating the beautiful chaos of neon and noise and life. Your mom asked me about my family today, Jennifer mentions. Wanted to know if we're close, if they'd visit. What did you say? That my mom can't wait to meet you, and my dad will probably interrogate you about your intentions, and my sister will either love you or give you hell depending on her mood. Min-jae looks nervous. When? Thanksgiving, maybe? If you're ready for Atlanta and soul food and a very different kind of family dynamic. Terrified but ready, he repeats, his mantra lately, applicable to everything from meeting Jennifer's co-workers to considering couples therapy to having hard conversations with his mother about expectations. We're really doing this, Jennifer says. Building a life together. Navigating two cultures and family expectations and our individual damage. Having second thoughts. No, just acknowledging how hard this is, and how worth it. They reach her apartment building. She's kept her place even though they're together most nights, both needing spaces of their own while learning to share space. It's one of many compromises they're figuring out, how to be together without losing themselves. Stay tonight? Jennifer asks. Always. Upstairs, they fall into the easy rhythm of domesticity. Tea brewing, comfortable clothes, Jennifer's brown leather notebook open on the coffee table next to Min-jae's Korean poetry book. He reads, she writes, their legs tangled on the couch, rain pattering against windows. What are you writing? Min-jae asks. Jennifer shows him the page. Things I know for sure. 1. Rain tastes like honesty. 2. Love isn't fixing each other. It's holding space while we fix ourselves. 3. The bench will always be ours. 4. Choosing this was choosing me, not just us. 5. I'm allowed to take up space. Min-jae kisses her temple. That last one especially. Therapy is harder than Jennifer expected. Sitting in a chair across from Dr. Williams, a black woman in her 50s with kind eyes and zero tolerance for deflection, means confronting patterns she spent years perfecting. You talk about managing your relationship with Min-jae, Dr. Williams observes during their 8th session. Lots of strategy words: navigating, negotiating, balancing. When do you just let yourself feel it? Jennifer fidgets. Feeling is complicated. Why? Because if I feel too much, I might want too much. And wanting too much has always been dangerous. Dangerous how? The truth spills. Growing up as the only black girl in honors classes, learning that excellence was expected but achievement was suspicious. College on a full scholarship, carrying the weight of being the example. Corporate life where mistakes meant confirming biases. Years of making herself smaller, quieter, less demanding, apologizing for existing. And now I'm with someone who sees me completely, and part of me keeps waiting for it to be too much, for him to realize I'm exhausting. Dr. Williams leans forward. Has he indicated that? No, the opposite. He calls me his anchor. So the narrative that you're too much is coming from where? Me, Jennifer whispers. It's all me. Exactly. And until you believe you're allowed to take up space, not just intellectually, but deep down, you'll keep managing instead of living. The session ends with homework. 1 week of not apologizing unless genuinely warranted. Jennifer thinks it'll be easy. It's excruciating. She catches herself apologizing for traffic making her 3 minutes late, for ordering a complicated coffee, for needing to reschedule dinner, for having feelings. By day 4, Min-jae stages an intervention. You've apologized 17 times today, he says gently, for existing in the world like a normal person. Baby, you have to stop. I know. She catches herself. I'm working on it. I know you are. And I'm here for all of it. The progress, the backsliding, the messy middle. You don't have to be perfect with me. Jennifer cries, and he holds her, and it's the first time she lets herself be comforted without simultaneously comforting back. Just receives, just exists, just takes up space. 1 year after they met, Jennifer and Min-jae return to the bench for an anniversary that technically isn't one. They still haven't defined when they officially became a couple, but feels significant anyway. The park is different in spring. Cherry blossoms drift like snow. Families picnic on blankets. The air smells green and alive. They sit in their spot, no rain today, just sunshine and breeze and the city humming around them. A year ago, I couldn't have imagined this, Min-jae says. Being happy. Actually wanting to wake up in the morning. Planning for a future instead of just surviving the present. Same. Jennifer leans against his shoulder. I thought I was permanently tired. That the best I could hope for was functional. And now? Now I'm still tired sometimes. But it's different. It's the kind of tired that comes from living fully, not from performing constantly. I can rest without guilt. Min-jae pulls something from his coat pocket, a small blue pot with a thriving, succulent cutting. For you, from Jae-sung's original plant. I've been growing it for 3 months. Jennifer takes it carefully, eyes stinging. Min-jae. My brother used to say that plants are proof that broken things can still grow. That sometimes you have to cut something away from the main stem, so both can thrive. His voice is steady now when he talks about Jae-sung. Still sad, but no longer devastated. I think he'd be glad we found each other. That something good grew from all that grief. I think so too. They sit in comfortable silence, watching life unfold around them. A child stumbles and her mother scoops her up. An elderly couple walks slowly, fingers intertwined. A group of teenagers laughs too loudly. Normal, beautiful, mundane. I told my mother I'm looking at apartments, Min-jae mentions casually. Jennifer sits up. You're moving out? We're moving in, if you want. No pressure, but I found a place in Itaewon. 2 bedrooms so we each have space, rooftop access close to the park. I put a deposit down pending your approval. You put a deposit, Min-jae. He looks nervous now. Too fast? I can cancel. I just thought after a year of splitting time between places, maybe we could have one home. Together. But if it's too soon. Jennifer kisses him quiet. Show me pictures. He pulls up photos on his phone. A modern apartment with huge windows, hardwood floors, a kitchen big enough for 2 people who are learning to cook together. The rooftop has a small garden space and a view of the city that steals her breath. It's perfect, she whispers. Yeah? Yeah. Let's build a home. Moving in together reveals new layers. Min-jae is meticulously organized. Jennifer lives in creative chaos. He needs silence to decompress. She processes by talking. They negotiate bathroom schedules, grocery preferences, whose family gets which holidays. Mrs. Park visits the new apartment with barely concealed skepticism. She inspects the kitchen, nods at the separate bedrooms, even though everyone knows they share one, and places a small traditional Korean blessing in the entryway. For protection, she says in careful English, and luck. Thank you, Ayama, Min-jae replies. Mrs. Park turns to Jennifer. You take care of my son? We take care of each other. A pause. Then, good. This is good way. It's the warmest approval Jennifer has received, and it settles something in her chest she didn't know needed settling. Sarah visits the following weekend, bringing wine and unsolicited decorating advice. You 2 are disgustingly domestic, she announces, watching Min-jae and Jennifer move around the kitchen in synchronized rhythm. Like you've been doing this for decades. We're learning, Jennifer says. No, you're thriving. There's a difference. That night, after Sarah leaves and the apartment is quiet, Jennifer finds Min-jae on the rooftop watering the small garden they've started. The succulent from Jae-sung sits in the center, surrounded by herbs and flowers they're growing from seeds. Penny for your thoughts? She asks. Thinking about how a year ago I was numb. And now I'm standing on a rooftop with the woman I love, growing things, planning dinners, arguing about whether we need a second bookshelf. He smiles. It's so ordinary, and so extraordinary. The best things usually are. Jakursi. Some things don't translate. Min-jae tries to explain the concept of Han, a uniquely Korean feeling of collective grief and resilience, and Jennifer listens but can't fully grasp it from the outside. Jennifer talks about the specific exhaustion of being a Black woman in predominantly white spaces, and Min-jae supports but can't entirely understand. They learn that love isn't erasing differences. It's holding space for them. Mrs. Park teaches Jennifer to make kimchi, hands moving in practiced motions while she speaks in broken English about her own mother, about traditions, about the son she lost, and the son who found himself again. You are good for him, she says. And it's the first time she's admitted it plainly. Different than I imagine. But good, different. Thank you for giving us a chance. I almost not give chance. Too scared. Too traditional. Mrs. Park's hands still. But then I think, what is tradition without happiness? Just empty ritual. Min-jae is happy, so I learned to be happy too. Jennifer's own mother visits in the fall, bringing Atlanta energy and opinions, and an immediate, bone-deep love for Min-jae that terrifies him. You treating my baby right? She asks over dinner. Yes, ma'am. Every day. Good. Because she's special. And if you forget that, you'll answer to me. Mom, Jennifer protests, but Min-jae just smiles. I won't forget. I promise. Later, Jennifer's mother pulls her aside. He's good people, Jen. Keeps his promises. Looks at you like you hung the moon. That's rare. I know, Mama. You happy? So happy it scares me sometimes. Then stop being scared and just be happy. You've earned it. Winter comes again. Their second winter together. but it feels different from the first. Less fragile, more solid. They've weathered fights about dishes and finances and whose family gets Christmas. They've navigated Min-jae's dark days when grief resurfaces and Jennifer's exhaustion when work drains her. They've learned each other's breaking points and repair methods. They've built something real. On a particularly cold December evening, Min-jae suggests the park. For old time's sake? They bundle up and walk to Seokcheon Lake, to their bench, where it all started. Snow falls lightly, dusting the wood, the water, their shoulders. Remember when we thought rain was the only time we could be honest? Jennifer muses. Now we're honest in sunshine. Snow, everything in between. Character development. Min-jae laughs, then grows serious. I've been thinking about something. Okay. He takes her hand. I don't believe in perfect timing. I think we met exactly when we needed to. Both broken, both barely functioning, both ready to stop pretending. And we built this relationship in the mess, not after we fixed ourselves. True. So I'm not going to wait for the perfect moment, because perfect doesn't exist. I'm just going to ask. He pulls a small box from his pocket, and Jennifer's breath stops. Jennifer Lee, will you marry me? Will you keep building this imperfect, beautiful, complicated life with me? Will you keep teaching me how to feel, and let me teach you how to rest? Will you— Yes, she interrupts, crying and laughing. Yes, absolutely yes. The ring is simple. A single stone set in brushed gold, understated and perfect. He slides it on her finger with shaking hands, and they kiss as snow falls around them, on the bench where two strangers once sat in the rain and accidentally saved each other. The wedding is small. Mrs. Park and Jennifer's parents navigating language barriers with warmth and laughter. Hyunwoo as best man, Sarah as maid of honor, both crying through their toasts. A mixture of Korean and American traditions that feels like them. Imperfect fusion. Beautiful mess. They write their own vows. Min-jae goes first, voice steady. Jennifer, you taught me that stopping isn't failing. That feeling deeply is courage, not weakness. That I'm allowed to be broken and whole at the same time. I promise to hold space for your exhaustion, to remind you that you don't have to apologize for existing, to sit with you in rain and sunshine and everything between. I promise to keep trying every day, to be worthy of the love you've given me. Jennifer's turn, barely holding it together. Min-jae, you saw me when I was invisible to myself. You asked who taught me to apologize for existing, and that question changed my life. I promise to let you grieve, to celebrate your joy, to build a home where we can both be fully ourselves. I promise to keep choosing you, keep choosing us, keep choosing the beautiful complication of real love over the safety of loneliness. I promise to try. I promise to try. Min-jae echoes. And they do. They try at marriage, at navigating two cultures, at building careers that fulfill instead of drain. They try at staying honest when it's easier to perform. They try at loving each other through the hard seasons and celebrating the easy ones. Some days are harder than others. Some days Jennifer still apologizes too much. Some days Min-jae retreats into grief. But they've learned that trying doesn't mean perfect. It means showing up, again and again, even when it's difficult. Especially when it's difficult. 5 years after the rain, Jennifer and Min-jae walk through Seokcheon Lake Park pushing a stroller. Inside, their daughter Jamie sleeps, named for the uncle she'll never meet but will always know through stories. She has Jennifer's deep brown skin and Min-jae's dark eyes, and she's the most beautiful thing they've ever created. They reach the bench. Their bench. Someone else sits there now. A young woman staring at the water with that particular exhaustion Jennifer recognizes immediately. Should we sit somewhere else? Min-jae asks quietly. Jennifer watches the woman for a moment, sees herself 5 years ago, and makes a decision. She approaches gently. Excuse me, is anyone sitting here? The woman looks up, startled. No, go ahead. Jennifer and Min-jae sit, the stroller between them. For a few minutes, they're all quiet. Then it starts to rain. Light, spring rain, gentle and persistent. The young woman tilts her face up, closes her eyes. "I needed this today," she murmurs. Jennifer and Min-jae exchange a look. He smiles. She smiles back. Rain has a way of giving permission. Jennifer says softly. The woman opens her eyes. Permission for what? To stop. To feel. To be honest about how tired you are. A pause. The woman's eyes fill. "How did you know?" "Because I sat on this exact bench 5 years ago, soaked and exhausted, and a stranger sat down and didn't make me pretend I was okay. Sometimes that's all you need. Someone who lets you be exactly where you are." They talk for 20 minutes. The woman's name is Keisha. She's new to Seoul, working too hard, lonely in ways she can't articulate. Jennifer gives her number, mentions a support group for foreign women in Korea, offers coffee without expectations. As they part, Keisha asks, "Does it get better?" Min-jae answers, "It gets different. Then it gets real. Then, if you're brave enough to stop performing and start living, it gets better. Not perfect, just better." "That's enough," Keisha says. "Yeah," Jennifer agrees. It really is. The apartment in Itaewon is cluttered now. Toys scattered, family photos covering walls, the succulent from Jae-sung's plant grown so large they had to repot it twice. It's chaotic and lived in and home. Jennifer works as a consultant for nonprofits, using her skills for organizations she believes in rather than corporations that drain her. Min-jae leads a grief support group, helping others navigate loss. They make less money than they could. They're happier than they've ever been. Mrs. Park visits weekly, teaching Jamie Korean songs and sneaking her sweets. Jennifer's parents Skype every Sunday. Their families have become friends, united by grandparent duties and genuine affection. Some things remain hard. Cultural misunderstandings still happen. Jennifer still fights the urge to be perfect. Min-jae still has days when grief is overwhelming. But they've learned to weather storms together. On a rainy Thursday evening, their anniversary of sorts, the day they met, they stand on their rooftop as water falls around them. Jamie is with her grandmother. The city stretches below, lights reflecting off wet streets. "Do you ever think about Tokyo?" Min-jae asks. "The path you didn't take?" "Sometimes, but I don't regret it. That was someone else's dream. This, you, Jaime, our messy, beautiful life. This is mine. No regrets. Not about the big things, you. Only that I wasted 3 years being numb before I found you. But maybe I needed those years to appreciate this." Jennifer takes his hand. "We found each other exactly when we were supposed to. Two broken people brave enough to stop pretending long enough to be real. In the rain." "In the rain," she agrees. They stand in the downpour. No umbrella, no shelter. Just two people who learned that sometimes the greatest act of courage isn't moving forward. It's stopping long enough to feel. To be honest. To admit you're tired and scared and human. To sit on a bench with a stranger and talk like you've known each other for years. To choose vulnerability over performance. To love imperfectly and try anyway. The rain falls. They don't move. And in this moment, soaked and laughing and home, they are exactly where they're meant to be. Not because the story is finished, because they finally learned how to live it. If this story reminded you that it's okay to stop, to feel, to choose the complicated, beautiful mess of real connection over safe loneliness, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more stories about the courage it takes to be human. Because sometimes, the most extraordinary love stories begin with two ordinary people finally allowing themselves to be real. They shared a bench in the rain and discovered that the greatest love stories aren't about finding someone who completes you, but finding someone who lets you be incomplete together. Someone who asks the questions no one else thinks to ask. Someone who sees your exhaustion and doesn't demand you hide it. Someone who sits with you in the storm and says, Me too. This is their story. What's yours?